Most ghost hunters go into abandoned places with cameras, recording equipment, and sensors, hoping to capture the unexplainable. But sometimes they find more than they bargained for. Sometimes the hunters themselves become the hunted. Today on TrueCreep, I'll take you through 2 chilling stories of ghost hunting teams that paid a terrifying price for their investigations. Our first case takes us to England, to the infamous house in Pontefract, known as the home of the Black Monk of Pontefract. In 1966, the Pritchard family, who lived in the house in Yorkshire, was terrorized by a series of disturbing paranormal events. A ghost, dubbed the Black Monk, reportedly appeared to torment the family with violent poltergeist activity. In the early 2000s, an experienced team of ghost hunters took on this haunted house, infamous for its aggressive spirit encounters. Led by Dave Aston, a former police officer turned paranormal researcher, the team planned to document every chilling detail of the monk's alleged presence. Armed with cameras, infrared sensors, and an array of paranormal equipment, they settled in for a long night. Within the first hour, the team began noticing strange occurrences. Doors slammed without warning, cold drafts surged from isolated corners, and the unmistakable feeling of being watched hung thick in the air. But Aston and his team pressed on until they claimed to see the Black Monk himself. Aston described the entity as dense, black, and utterly evil. He said he had never felt such overwhelming fear in his life. When they tried to cleanse the house, things took a violent turn. 2 members reported being choked by invisible hands, while a third suffered a shock so severe he was rushed to the hospital. The footage they captured was terrifying. Heavy footsteps approaching steadily, and a deep, menacing voice repeating the word, revenge. These recordings remain in the team's archives, considered some of the most intense and disturbing paranormal evidence ever collected. After that night, Dave Aston ended his career, later revealing in an interview that he had witnessed evil in its purest form at Pontefract. Our second story takes us to the infamous Malvern Manor in Iowa, USA. Once a boarding house and later converted into a psychiatric clinic, the building is now abandoned but has a dark reputation for intense paranormal activity. Numerous witnesses have reported hearing eerie voices from empty rooms and seeing shadowy figures moving in the darkness. In 2016, a team called Chasing Evil took on the manor, determined to capture undeniable proof of the supernatural. The team, consisting of 5 seasoned ghost hunters, prepared to spend a full night in Malvern Manor. The initial hours passed quietly, but at around 3 in the morning, the so-called witching hour, things took a sinister turn. One of the investigators, Mark, entered a room known for its intense spiritual presence. Susie's room, named after a former patient with severe schizophrenia. Suddenly, Mark screamed. His team found him unconscious on the floor with visible scratch marks on his back, as if an invisible force had slammed him to the ground. As the team tried to help Mark, they heard a woman screaming, though the building was empty. Investigating further, they found that their camera equipment and other devices had abruptly stopped working, and the temperature in the room had plummeted. Another team member felt cold hands gripping his shoulders tightly. The team fled in panic, cutting the investigation short. When they reviewed their audio recordings, they found a chilling message, whispers saying, "Don't go," followed by a loud, piercing scream. Mark, who had been attacked, left the team shortly afterward, suffering from panic attacks and nightmares for months. He later claimed that he felt a dark and malevolent presence had followed him home from the manor. The Chasing Evil team's experience at Malvern Manor illustrates the terrifying dangers ghost hunters can encounter in their line of work. The building remains a popular destination for ghost hunters, though many are warned by the chilling experiences of the Chasing Evil team. Both of these cases show us that ghost hunting can sometimes be more than just a thrill-seeking adventure. Ghost hunters who venture into the world's most haunted places risk finding more than they could ever imagine. For some, these encounters are just the beginning of a dark chapter that will haunt them forever. Was this the work of malevolent spirits, or something even darker? The truth remains hidden, but here at TrueCreep, we're always searching for answers and for the stories lurking in the shadows.